Hey yo, what's good, y'all? My name is Devontae, and I sacrificed my time so you don't have to. Timestamps are in the description box below if you want to go forward. Also, just letting y'all know, it's a hurricane going around in the area, so you might be hearing some rain throughout the video. I'll try my best to mute it as much as possible. With that being said, before we get into the Bad Blood pay-per-view, I got to talk about this because I got a vent, man. Look, I understand in the end of the day, I talk about people's personal lives, but in the end of the day, it all relates back to wrestling, man. I don't like this narrative, man. I hate this narrative, bruh. And you know what? One time I made a mistake where I actually took up for a woman in a scenario not too long ago. And then it came back that in the end of the day, it was all bullshit, right? I hate this narrative of believe all women, or hell, even believe all men. It's all about the evidence in the end of the day. I see so many people going after Artem right now, bruh. Nikki Bella's ex-husband, or soon-to-be ex-husband, I guess. This whole thing of him being abusive to women this, abusive to women that. Like, how the fuck do you make a claim like that? Even in my video, I was very hesitant to say anything in regards to Artem. All I said was hypothetically, this could be the case and this could be the case, and if this happens to be the case, then okay, consequences should be dealt with. But that's just based off the facts we had at hand at that point in time. It's now come out that Nikki Bella actually did attack Artem, hence why he called the hospital. Hung up the phone, theoretically, I would think, because he didn't want to get her in trouble. And how does she repay him back, bro? How does she repay him back? Going on a complete smear campaign, bro. Now I get it, Brie Bella, she's gonna take up for her sister. I ain't here to fault Brie Bella. But for everybody else who's running with the narrative, I don't know how many times you have to be told false allegations exist. And I'm not saying what Artem did is a false allegation, but what I am suggesting is, if you know for a fact Nikki Bella attacked this man, it's already been out that she attacked this man, she threw a shoe at him, right? Then why the fuck would you run with a narrative just outright destroying this man's credibility? I ain't even saying you gotta go out of your way and you have to believe Artem, but she got so many people behind her talking about she's empowering, she's this, she's that, villainizing the man before you even know what the fuck happened. That's some bullshit, bro. This is what I mean all the time when I talk about the whole equality nonsense when it comes to women. Man, throw that shit out of the window, bro. First off, this ain't the 1960s anymore, bro. You are on par with every man on this earth. There is not anything that a woman legally can do that a man can't do, and vice versa, legally speaking, as far as opportunities are considered. But they play up this game. They like to make up all this nonsense about man running the world, this, that, and the third, without even taking into consideration the job that's usually done by a man that's usually ignored by a woman. But I just hate this whole facade of pretending as if, oh, well, there's so much power that men hold. Nah, bruh, women hold all the power, bruh. Come on now, you got Nikki Bella with so many people taking up for her, completely ignoring the fact that she threw a shoe at this man without having anything of relevance to talk about how he was abusive to her. For all we know, all we have, honest to God, as far as the facts are concerned, and we don't even have the complete facts about that. All I know is that Artem and Nikki fought in front of their child, and both of them attacked each other. So why the fuck does Nikki Bella get to get all the consideration, all the praise in the world, while Artem has to sit over here and become villainized? You get the narrative talking about this man did this and this man did that and this man did this, but you don't know that shit for a fact. But what you do know for a fact is that both of them attacked each other. Yet he's the one that's gonna get all the fucking negative stuff, bro. That's bullshit, bro. You got Brie Bella going out here talking about empowering women and all this shit, going out here like a complete smear campaign, homie. How the fuck does that even work? But then at the same time, you sit here and you talk about women are powerless. This is bullshit. They run the court system, they run the market, and they run the relationships for the most part. But you sit here and you pretend you are right now doing what women have in regards to the power by giving her all the fucking power. Man, this man ain't got nothing to fight with. This man could possibly lose his kid as far as custody is considered, because we all know how the courts act when it comes to men. This man right here probably gonna lose all his income to a person who has more notoriety than he does, because we know how the courts act when it comes to shit like that. All because you want to take up for a woman without even considering what the fuck she did. As a matter of fact, from my understanding, we don't even have any confirmation in regards to what happened to Nikki Bella outright as far as description is considered, all this shit. But we do have a report of Arden talking about she attacked him. It's nonsense, man. Look, they can live their life as they want to. I ain't even here to judge them per se, outside of the fact, honestly, that I find them to be deplorable to be fighting in front of their child like that. But for the rest of y'all motherfuckers out here taking up for Nikki Bella, but then villainizing Artem, nah, keep that shit copacetic and keep that shit 100. If you gonna talk about Artem, then you need to talk about Nikki too. And if you ain't gonna talk about Nikki, then shut the fuck up on the situation and wait for everything to come out. Jumping to conclusion and saying all this shit about this man, but you won't do the same shit to the person that has been confirmed as far as what she did. That's nonsense, bro. But women don't have any power. And get the fuck out of here, man. Let's get into the bad blood review. That shit boiled me, bro. That shit had my blood boiling red. That was nonsense. Reading how everybody was reacting to the situation, seeing Brie Bella go on a smear campaign for this man, it's nonsense, bro. Society is completely fucked. All right, so I just got finished watching not just the match in itself, but I needed to see the post-match stuff when Punk is selling and the paramedics are checking on him. They're giving him oxygen and Adam Pearce is telling him to stay down, and CM Punk is saying, I need to go call my wife. And Drew McIntyre, he's holding his back, but he's not even caring for how hurt he is. He's more so angry at himself for losing the match. He's crying. This is professional wrestling. So, man, okay, so first off, let me just get this out of the way. This is the best match of the decade. It's not even fucking close. I know we were saying Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, and don't get it twisted. Fantastic match. Awesome match. Punk and McIntyre, it's a better match. It's a better match. It had a better story. Had more longevity. The post-match felt more wrestling related. The things done in the match was very high action. It was very slow paced, but it was methodical, but at the same time it felt kind of fast. I can't explain it. The pacing of this match was fucking genius. The momentum of this match was fucking superb. This is as close as you will ever get to the Attitude Era, in my opinion. In regards to the wrestling, for younger fans to understand, this is how we felt when we seen Austin versus Triple H in the 3 Stages of Hell match. This is how we felt when we seen Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, ironically enough, in their original Hell in a Cell match. This is how we felt when we seen actual blow-offs. I cannot put into words how phenomenal this match was. This was beyond phenomenal. Beyond. This is about as close, bruh. So first off, I gotta let the time go by, but this is gonna probably go in. If I were to revise 100 greatest matches of all time, this will probably make the list for sure. For sure. I don't know about top 20, but I think I'd actually probably put this in the top 50. Just because this is the best match of the decade so far. It's not even fucking close. Not even fucking close. The things these guys did in the match, because it wasn't just the weapon spots. I have to go back and watch this match again, because there's so many nuances that were done in this match. I felt like I didn't really see everything that I needed to see. Like, I felt like, because I was so focused on reviewing. See, this is one of those rare times where it's like, I wish I could have just watched this strictly as a fan. I felt like if it was this enjoyable to watch for the sake of just reviewing it, I can only imagine how it would feel just to watch it without having to take notes or watch spots. I have to go back, because there's some nuances that I know I missed in this match. Some some Easter eggs that I know I missed in this match. I mean, not just the obvious stuff like pouring the bracelet on his head, you know, Drew McIntyre out of the bag that we thought were thumbtacks, but little small things like Drew McIntyre wearing the black wristband thing on his arm because he was talking about CM Punk's funeral and all that other kind of shit. I need to go back and watch this match. There's more nuances. So they start the match off by beating the shit out of each other, punching each other in the face. They pull out a table, but they don't use the table. They pull out the table just to break the legs off the table to use it as a weapon. They pick up wrenches, and they're not using stupid shit like stakes and concrete. They're using things that are in the ring. Things that are underneath the ring that were used to construct the ring as weapons. That's another thing that I really like about the match. It wasn't just doing stupid random shit for the sake of doing stupid random shit. Why is there a fucking concrete slab underneath the ring? That makes no sense. Why is there a fucking burnt wood that you're bringing out to the ring? That makes no sense. Why is there a syringe underneath the ring? That makes no sense. They're using weapons, and they're using things that you would think would be used in the, you know, a table. It's used for catering. Stuff to construct the ring. That's what they're using. Chairs in order to sit around the table. That's what they're using. That's why it's underneath the ring, and that's what they were using in order to construct such a beautiful fucking story in the match. But like I said, they used the leg from the table to beat the fuck out of each other. You got CM Punk who's trying to choke out Drew McIntyre with it. You got Drew McIntyre hitting CM Punk with the leg of the table. You have CM Punk hitting a leg sweep on Drew McIntyre in his throat. It's hitting the edge of the table. Just crazy shit. They go out to the ring, and this is the first instance when CM Punk started to bleed. Drew McIntyre picks him up, and like Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, when Taker lawn darted Shawn Michaels to the side of the fence, that's what Taker did to Shawn Michaels. That's what Drew did to CM Punk, and CM Punk started to bleed. He was gushing from the side of his face, just fucking gushing blood. And they start going at it even more. Drew McIntyre, I think at this point in time, he picked up some stairs, if I'm not mistaken, and he hit him in the head with it. And they start to go back and forth. They start to battle. They eventually make it back in the ring, and CM Punk is they are literally using this wrench like it's like a fucking steel chair. They're beating the shit out of each other with this wrench. CM Punk gets the advantage back when he jumps on top of the turnbuckle, and he tries to jump on top of McIntyre with the wrench in his head to hit him with a double axe handle, but McIntyre blocked it. Then he hit him with a belly-to-belly suplex. Eventually he hits him with I think he hits with the Claymore kick, right? Because he hit him with the first time outside of the ring. I don't know if it was the Claymore kick or if it was the belly-to-belly that caused CM Punk to roll out to the ring. But Drew McIntyre tried to pick up Punk while he was on the outside of the ring, and that toolbox that wrench came out of, Punk hit Drew McIntyre in the head with it, which just, bro, McIntyre was a fucking crimson mask. What a great fucking blade job, McIntyre. He really looked like a Scottish psychopath, for real. He really looked like a fucking psychopath, for real, for real. And then you get to another spot in the match where CM Punk, and mind you, this entire time, I love the intermediates between the match when they're just having little death spots, they're throwing punches at each other non-stop because they're just pissed off with each other. You get to another spot where Drew McIntyre eventually, because there was a table that he set up right between the cage and the ring, and he suplexes CM Punk from one side of the apron to the opposite side of the ring through the table that was on the floor, which CM Punk started to sell like a madman. Eventually, they do get back in the ring. CM Punk does hit, no, I think McIntyre actually had another Claymore kick, and that's when CM Punk kicked out of that. Eventually, CM Punk does lock Drew McIntyre into the sharpshooter, and it's just a beautiful shot because McIntyre is streaming blood. It's like they're obviously trying to go off of the Bret Hart Stone Cold Steve Austin match, and you know, Punk has the blood dripping off his face while he has McIntyre locked in the sharpshooter, and McIntyre is screaming with blood all over his face. Also, let me just notate too, the selling in this match was just fucking just immaculate fucking selling. I can't sing the praises of this matches enough. This was fucking fantastic. Eventually, CM Punk does hit a GTS on Drew McIntyre, and then McIntyre kicks out of it, right? Eventually, they start going back and forth a little bit more, And then McIntyre, I think at this point in time, after he hit the last, because I think after he suplexed him through the table, that's when he brought the stairs into the ring, because that's when it led up to the GTS and then the Claymore. Okay, I got it now. And then when he brings the stairs up into the ring, he hits CM Punk with white noise, or the Celtic cross, wherever you want to, I think it's the white noise, though, the air raid siren, on top of the stairs that he brought into the ring, which, by the way, he's bringing the stairs to the ring and he's dripping blood and he's struggling because his back is hurt, and just fantastic shit. Punk kicked out of that too, though. Eventually we get to the spot where Drew McIntyre, he brings a bag in the ring. It's like this black bag. It's the same black bag that we used to put the thumbtacks inside. And there was a part of me saying to myself, oh God, this match is so good. You don't have to go blue. You're doing fantastic right now. And then McIntyre pours out beads. It's the same beads that make up the wristband that Punk dedicated to AJ and his dog Larry. He pours it all over his head. And this is actually, honestly, one of the more terrifying spots of the night. I'm hoping that McIntyre is just really good at selling, because that looked disgusting. McIntyre sets up for another Claymore kick. When he sets up for the Claymore kick, Punk moves out of the way, and the stairs that McIntyre hit the air raid siren on Punk on originally, he hits the fucking Claymore kick. Punk moves out of the way, and his lower back just right on the edge of the stairs. It was gruesome, and it made a loud impact noise too, which made it even worse. Punk eventually picks up the beads and he pours it inside the mouth of Drew McIntyre. He wraps a chain around his knee and he hits the go to sleep on Drew McIntyre with the chain around his knee to finally pick up the win. Mind you, prior to all this too, I should notate that Punk did do the Anaconda Vice on Drew McIntyre, but then McIntyre hit him in the back of the head with a wrench. That's how gruesome this match was. But yeah, he won the match with a GTS with the chain wrapped around his knee in order to get the win. And then after the match, the cage gets risen up and Punk is leaving the ring, and he wants to celebrate, but he can't. He falls down because he's hurt. His back is hurt. The paramedics, as I notated before, are checking on CM Punk. They go to the ring to go check on Drew McIntyre. There's weapons all over the place. There's blood all over the ring. There's blood all over the floor. There's blood all over the stairs. These guys bled a lot, to the degree that the referee had to come in the ring and he had a white, especially McIntyre. McIntyre was just a fucking, he didn't even look white at a certain point. Like he had fucking face paint on with how much blood he was dripping. But yeah, that was the match, and I can't stress this enough. If you haven't watched this match, if you're somehow not watching the pay-per-view, you gotta go watch this match. I don't think I'm really doing it justice. That's what I'm saying. I have to go back and watch the match again. I can't stress enough how fucking great this match is. I always thought that MJF and Daniel Bryan and their Iron Man match was probably the best match of the decade to me, honestly. And then I probably go with Cody and Roman. Nah, this match knocks them both out of the fucking water. Because you got to think about it. It's not only just the match in itself. It's the lead up to the match, right? It's a damn near year-long feud that culminates in Hell in a Cell, which, by the way, by themselves, they completely revitalized Hell in a Cell to mean something again. Like, this is the best Hell in a Cell match in like a decade. Well, probably the best Hell in a Cell match since fucking Taker and Triple H, for sure. But I might even go as far as to say, to be honest with you, I will go as far as to say this is probably, in my opinion, some may have their own opinion, I think this is the best Hell in a Cell match since Taker and Brock Lesnar in 2002. I think this is the best Hell in a Cell match in 20 years. I'm not even, just because of the length of the feud that went into all this, the brutality of the match, the selling, the storytelling, and the post-match stuff. I think honestly this is the best Hell in a Cell match in like 20 years, over 24 years, or 22 years since Brock and Taker, for sure. I just can't stress enough. This was fantastic. I can't put this over enough. If you haven't watched this match, you're doing yourself a disservice as a wrestling fan. You need to go watch this match. You need to. This is beautiful. Just kudos. I can't stress it. Just fantastic fucking match. Let's continue on with the show. All right, so this match was sloppy as shit. Now, I will say two things. Two things I will credit this match for, okay? Yes, it was sloppy as fuck. Yes, the timing as far as this match happening directly after one of the best matches I've ever seen, they had no chance. They had no chance. I'm pretty sure most people took a bathroom break when this match came on. And credit where credit is due. They wanted to try different things. I think they knew that they were fucked. I think especially after the match. I know Bayley and Nia Jax probably had like a comedic looking at each other simultaneously after that match happened, and they said to themselves, we are so fucked. And yeah, they were fucked. They were fucked. I can't help but think that, Nia with the botch Frankensteiner. Yes, that was a thing. Nia tried a Frankensteiner on Bayley. As you can tell, that did not work all too well for Nia. Yeah, that was a thing. I don't know what the fuck they were trying to go for with that little Samoan drop thing that Bayley for some reason sold. Or I guess Nia was supposed to sell it. I don't know. I don't know. I will give credit where credit is due, though, and I will notate the fact that at the very least they told a story. There was definitely a semblance of a story, not with Nia and Bayley in the match in itself, but Tiffany Stratton looked like she was about to, cash in her briefcase. She comes out, Bayley kicked Nia in the head and she fell directly on top of the referee, Jessica Carr, and knocked her out, which gave Tiffany Stratton time to come out to the ring to, I guess help out Nia. It looked like she was going to cash in. She hit Bayley in the head and she gave the briefcase to the referee. And like when she gave the briefcase to the referee, at that time, Nia sat up like the Undertaker and then looked at both of them. And Nia was like, what the fuck was this? What the fuck is this all about? Bayley attempted to do a roll-up and then Nia kicked out. She hit her with an offensive move, jumped on top of the turnbuckle. Looked like she was going to go for another elbow drop, I presume, before Tiffany Stratton caused a distraction and threw her a briefcase. And then Bayley threw the briefcase back at her. It was all just a distraction just to allow Nia Jax to hit a super Samoan drop off the top of the turnbuckle. And then she followed up with the Annihilator in order to pick up the win. Like I said, it was horribly sloppy. It was quite frankly a pretty bad match. I like the powerbomb spot on the stairs and, Nia throwing Bayley, into the barricade. And I like Bayley doing the Samoan drop to Nia Jax. But outside of that, this match stood no chance in hell. Not to mention, I'm not going to lie to you, it was just one of those things where I'm still kind of, trying to get over the Hell in a Cell match. I'm still kind of hyped up from that match. And I'm still kind of thinking about that match. So to watch this match after that match happened, it kind of ruined the experience of the match. But like I said, no match after that Hell in a Cell match outside of the Bloodline stuff, which obviously that's going to main event, was going to top that Hell in a Cell match. You know what I mean? So it was one of those deals where it's like no matter what you would have put in that slot, they would have been fucked. And I guess they're trying to tell a story with Damien and Finn. They're trying to tell a story with Rhea and Liv. And I guess Bayley and... Because you got to think that people backstage, the producers, they had to know that the Hell in a Cell match in some shape or form was going to deliver. I don't think they had in their mind it was going to deliver that much. I think they knew that it was going to deliver, but I don't think anyone knew that the Hell in a Cell match was going to be that fucking insane. And again, these girls just they were fucked. It's one of those matches. It's almost to the point where I almost feel so bad that I almost want to give it an NA, just because like no one gave a fuck about this. But unfortunately, they did go out there and they had. I guess you're gonna go. I guess you can call it a match. Technically, it was really botchy, but I guess you can call it a match. It was sloppy as fuck, but I guess you can call it a match. But yeah, there is a part of me that looks at this and I say to myself, like, damn, these. I feel bad. I just feel bad. But honestly, they got the short end of the stick, and you couldn't use either one of the Judgment Day matches in order to follow up with that, because you need them to tell the story to pick up, because they're the most prominent fixtures on Raw outside of Punk and McIntyre. So I get it. It just sucks that it had to happen to Bayley and Nia Jax. So yeah. Continuing on. All right. So I like the match. Again, the problem, and this is going to really affect the night, and I know why a lot of you guys, honestly, in the community posts were saying that you were going to skip everything just until you got to the main event after Hell in a Cell, because, man, bruh, and I understand that the Judgment Day, they have a bit of a story going on right now at the moment, but, man, they really could have done better with the middle portion of the card. I'm not saying this match was bad, but it's like, when you put something on with Punk and McIntyre, that's going to be... That match really has fucked up this entire card with how good it was. That's the problem. That's the problem. When you honestly, I will even go as far as to say that, man, is the main event gonna have something that's gonna deliver? Even if The Rock was to come back, like, what is the main event really gonna do? Really, they're gonna have to have Rock turn on Roman. That's the only way to justify having this, triumph or main event over Hell in a Cell, because this Hell in a Cell match is really taking a nasty toll on the rest of this card, man. Like, Damien Priest and Finn Balor, this is after the match that went after Hell in a Cell, and it just has this feeling where this match is still kind of feeling the effects of the Hell in a Cell match, and this is the third match on the card after the Hell in a Cell match. Bruh, like, the guys went out there and the crowd was decent for this. I will say this, the crowd ain't no problem. The crowd tonight's been really, really fucking hot for the most part. It's just that Hell in a Cell match was so fucking good that it's fucking with the rest of the card, man. They went out there and they did their thing. For some reason, they took the announcement table top off, but did nothing with it. But outside of that, though, it was just regular standard wrestling, but good wrestling. You know what I mean? No botches, no problems. I will say that I am kind of getting to the point now where, and I had this problem with Damien Priest going all the way back to NXT. I used to have this saying back in the days. I haven't said it in a while, but I used to call it the Gargano Priest effect, where, like, the big guy sells way too much for the small guy. And I named it deliberately after Damien Priest because he just has this problem, man. I get it, bro. These are your buddies. You want to make them look just as good. But, man, you can't sell for everything, bro. You're like almost twice the size of Finn Balor. And he did the same thing for Johnny Gargano, and he's done the same thing. JD McDonough also. He's doing it way too much, bro. You can't sell so much for people half your size. Not just for you. I mean, okay, I get it. You want to be a team player, but at the same time, bro, like, it's not specifically for you, but it's because it just makes everything look ridiculous. You know what I mean? But, they told a decent story. No body part was really worked over. I like the 3 coup de grace to Damien Priest bent over. And something else, too, just to keep it consistent with AEW. This is the match. These kind of matches, you don't need to have multiple kickout finishes. McIntyre and Punk did, because that's a blood feud, and it's a blow-off. I get them having multiple kickouts. They needed that. You guys didn't need to do that. Like, Finn Balor doing this coup de grace and Damien Priest kicking out of it. Who structured this match? There was no need for that. You just ruined Finn Balor's finish for no reason. There was no reason for that, bruh. And then you have all the goofies come out from the Judgment Day, and they're causing a distraction. They're trying to help out Finn Balor, and it seems like Damien Priest doesn't. I mean, it's like the problem, and this is good. And I mentioned this before. This is going to be the problem with the Judgment Day, was that once you take out the heater for Judgment Day, that being Rhea and Damien, 2 of the biggest people in the stable, not just, figuratively as far as, popularity, but, structurally also. Even Rhea Ripley, she's bigger than most of the members, if not all the members in Judgment Day, outside of Damien Priest. You take 2 of the most destructive people out of the group, and you wonder why? All it takes is for Damien Priest he can do this shit by himself. There was no need for Rhea Ripley. He took him out by themselves. It was a glorified handicap match towards the end, and Damien Priest did it all on his own. He ended up hitting a South from Heaven chokeslam on Finn Balor, and he won the match. And honestly, for as good as the match was, it felt like a Raw match. It really did. It felt like a Raw match that really had no business on this pay-per-view card. But once again, I can't stress this enough. It's not so much that the match in itself was bad. It's not so much in itself that, you know, on paper, it didn't deserve to be on pay-per-view. It's not so much that, like, you know, the match in itself lacked any storytelling, necessarily speaking. It's just the fact that you're putting this on after the Hell in a Cell match, man. It's fucking with the rest of this card. I wish Triple H would have thought this out a little bit more thoroughly, but something just tells me in the back of my mind, I mentioned this on the last match, the last excerpt, that I don't think the producers really thought to themselves that the Hell in a Cell was going to be as good as it was. And then it ended up fucking like being insane, and now all these matches that have to follow it, they're gonna suffer through this. And, you know, hopefully Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, because they have more of the prominent story as far as the Judgment Day stuff is considered, hopefully they can thrive over all this, especially with the stipulation with Dominik being in the cage. And also, I will notate the fact that, you know, where does Damien Priest go from here? Better yet, where does the rest of the Judgment Day go from here? If Liv Morgan loses this match, where does the rest of the Judgment Day go? She has to win the match, I gotta presume. I thought Finn was gonna. I'm 2 for 1 so far. I thought Finn was gonna win the match, if for nothing else, just to make the Judgment Day look strong going forward. That's something else that you gotta think about. Where do they go for it? This is one of those rare matches where it's like, I don't agree with that decision. I think Finn should have won the match. I think Finn should have won the match, and you should have done something a little bit more spectacular than this. But it is what it is. The match is over with. Let's get to the next Judgment Day match. And we also have an announcement for Triple H coming up soon also, so be aware of that too. Okay, just a quick little intermediate, if you don't mind. I know we're focusing directly on the wrestling, but obviously Triple H made this quote-unquote historic announcement. Really, dude? Really, bro? Come on, Triple H. Come on. You see, that this is some Tony Khan-esque type of hyping up as far as your announcement. Don't do that, bro. Don't do that. That's not something that I will call necessarily an announcement. Now, granted, the idea in itself is complete doo-doo, but like, as far as what it could, you know, develop, I don't mind that all too much. I think that's fine. Although I kind of feel like you gave the finish away. I'm not sure about that, just because, okay, so theoretically, so let me pick this up for you real quick. I guess everybody on social media, because I didn't know what the hell he was planning on announcing. I seen a lot of people on social media thinking or expecting it to be a mid-card women's championship belt. I don't know why. I don't know why. But again, it's one of those deals where it's like, okay, let me see what he's going to say. He comes out to the ring and he makes this announcement for a match at Crown Jewel. It's going to be the women's champion of Raw taking on the women's champion of SmackDown, and the man's champion of Raw taking on the man's champion of SmackDown. And the winner, I was thinking to myself like, oh god, no, we're doing good so far, man. Don't fucking do an undisputed champion. We just got fucking rid of this shit. Don't do this shit again. No, they're gonna be the Crown Jewel champion. Triple H, come on, bro. You had a note to yourself that was whack as fuck. Why would you announce it like that? Now I know he has to hype it up. I get it. This is probably some bullshit stipulation with Saudi Arabia, maybe with their contract. I gotta presume it's something like that. But I think sometimes, and are there any like people from Saudi Arabia in the audience? Like, do you guys really give a shit when they like dedicate so much time to like your country? I don't know, like the pandering, right? Like, it's like when they throw out Mansoor on Saudi Arabia. It's like, dude, I don't think any fucking Saudi Arabians give a shit about Mansoor. You know what I mean? It's like the Indians when they throw out Great Khali. Now they're different. They fucking love Great Khali. But I know a lot of them, they really love Roman Reigns too, and they love Rey Mysterio, and they love John Cena, that type of shit. You know what I mean? Like, they love The Undertaker also. Just because, you know, like, it's their ethnicity that has to correlate with whatever wrestler you're putting out there, like, doesn't necessarily mean like they're gonna give a shit about it like they do with the other superstars. It's like the pandering gets so fucking annoying after a while. But like I said, I get it. This probably has something to do with Saudi Arabia and some contract deal or something like that. I mean, in the end of the day, does the idea suck? Yes, but the results of the fucking champion versus champion thing So it looks like there's a good shot we might get Gunther versus Cody Rhodes in a one-on-one match. And I can't really scoff at that. That's a match that I really want to see. So that's fucking good. Although it makes you wonder, like, okay, so Rhea Ripley is going to face Liv Morgan, right? And Nia Jax is the women's world champion. Now, obviously, wrestling's a little bit different than back in the days. There's no, conclusion that it has to be a face versus a heel. But it kind of makes it seem like, oh, okay, well, they have a face versus heel match with Gunther and Cody Rhodes. Are they going to do a face versus heel match with, I would presume, Liv's the heel? Are they going to go Rhea and Nia Jax? Are they going to go that route? Or does Tiffany Stratton cash in her Money in the Bank on Nia Jax and we get Rhea and Tiffany Stratton? That's another hill, obviously, too. But what I'm thinking right now is did they just give away the finish by accident with Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan? Because it kind of seems like they just gave away the finish by accident. Afterwards, you had Gunther come out. He cut some promo talking shit about Goldberg, who was sitting in the audience with the rest of the legends. And he got into the ring. He called him a poor excuse for a father. All the security guards had to break that up. Please, God, no. I do not want to see Gunther versus Goldberg. Don't even fucking tease that shit. And then Sami Zayn comes in the ring, and then he starts to beat the fuck out of Gunther with security guards breaking it up. Them promoting their match for Monday. I mean, you got to get Gunther on the card somehow. He is a world champion. You got no world championship matches on the line tonight. So I get what they're trying to do. It's just, it's like, again, I'm okay with Gunther versus Cody. Just no need to do this Tony Khan-esque. I have a special announcement, and it turns out to be, something pretty fucking lame. You know what I mean? Lame in the sense that, like, the concept of itself. Not lame in the sense of what can happen as far as getting Cody versus Gunther. But that's the announcement if you guys care, if you didn't see it already. Let's continue on with the show. That was pretty fucking lame. Okay, so someone called this in the community post earlier on. As soon as they said that, I guess it kind of flickered in my mind, like, oh, okay, so that's the path that they're going to go down. I didn't know they were going to go down this path until someone brought it up. I'm like, oh, okay, now I'm kind of wondering whether or not that's where they're going to go. And they indeed went down that path. So the match in itself was pretty good, actually. I love how, like, Liv and Bayley, they kind of do similar spots as far as, like, what they execute in regards to their moves. Just Liv actually, connects it. She actually did the sunset flip powerbomb. Because how Bayley does the little sunset flip throw and then she throws someone into the corner and, like, almost always she botches it in some clumsy ass way. Well, Liv does it off the fucking apron to Rhea Ripley and she connects with the barricade and it's like, oh, look at that, Bayley. She does your move better than you do your own goddamn move. But that wasn't just it. Coming out of the ring, let's just take it from the top. I just had to notate that. You had Dominik Mysterio and Liv Morgan. They're coming out to some generic ass West Coast LA, fucking G-Funk sounding instrumental. And they come out with some lowrider, and I guess this is some promotion for their new Lucha lowriders or some shit. But I get it, he's Eddie's son for real, yada yada yada. I get it. Whatever. They come out to the ring, and then Rhea Ripley, she comes out to the ring next, and then they put Dominik inside the cage and they raise it up. Like I said, the match in itself was fine. I actually like this match a little bit more from an in-ring perspective than I did Damien Priest and Finn Balor. The girls went out there and they killed it. Again, I can't stress it enough. Liv Morgan is probably one of the most self-improved wrestlers that I think I've ever seen. Like, she goes out there and she's really fucking good. Like unironically, she's really good from an in-ring perspective. I don't know if that's ever really been highlighted. I think she's really slept on as a talent. But she does that move again that someone highlighted as a Japanese wrestler's or a Joshi's move. I don't know the Joshi, but someone said it was a Joshi move. That little pump handle front flip crucifix thing that she does. She calls it, I guess, according to Corey Gray, she calls it the homewrecker, which I wonder how long that's going to last. I'm pretty sure they're going to probably sooner or later after the feud, or if Liv ever turns babyface in the future, they're going to call it the wrecker. But I see how she does that move. Am I the only one who looks at that? I'm like, dude, that's way more effective than your Oblivion move. Like, do that as a finisher. That's actually really fucking cool. But, they went at it. For the most part, Liv was attacking Rhea Ripley's leg. And Rhea was fighting back, babyface, pump up, whatever. But as, they're booting up, Liv hits the three amigos, and eventually she takes some offensive move from Rhea Ripley. And in the process, Dominik Mysterio, I guess, picked the lock or whatever. That's what they're trying to sell it as. He picked the lock that he was inside the cage of, and the door opens up. And Rhea Ripley, she hits a frog splash on Liv Morgan, and she gets a 2 count. She takes Liv Morgan out to the ring next to Dominik Mysterio, who's like, there with the door wide open. Rhea Ripley beats the dog shit out of Liv Morgan right underneath Dominik's eyes while he's in the cage. Even hits her with a riptide on the outside of the ring, which Dominik got so distraught over. After Rhea Ripley threw Liv inside the ring, he, I don't know what he was trying to do, but he fell out of the cage, and, his leg got caught up on one of the ropes inside the cage, which had him dangling from the outside of the cage. Rhea Ripley takes it upon herself to go grab a kendo stick, and, first she tells the referee, I like that little camera shot that the referees have on their shirts now. That's not the first time I've seen that. But she tells the referee, hang on for a second, I got some business to take care of. She grabs a kendo stick and she proceeds to beat the dog shit out of Dominik Mysterio like he was a piñata with the kendo stick. And the process of doing this is where we get to the weird part of the match, because this I thought was fucking stupid as shit, like AEW level referee stupidity. While Rhea Ripley's beating the dog shit out of Dominik Mysterio with the kendo stick, I don't know what the fuck happened here, but as the person notated in the community post earlier, Raquel Gonzalez, or Raquel Diaz, whatever she's calling herself nowadays, comes out and she attacks Rhea Ripley, beats the dog shit out of her, right? This is the weird part though. She beats the dog shit out of her, and the referee, for some reason, she throws Rhea in the ring, and the referee walks right past Rhea getting her ass beat by Raquel. And it's weird. It's like, dude, ring the bell. What are you doing? He looks at Rhea getting her ass kicked. Then he turns his back to the ring. Then he runs right past Rhea and Dominik to help, or Rhea and Raquel to go help out Dominik. And he hasn't ringed the bell yet. As soon as they get in the ring, that's when they ring the bell for disqualification. It was really weird. And then Raquel hits her with the Tejada bomb, and then for some reason, the bell is rung now, by the way. She picks up Liv Morgan, and then she puts her on top of Rhea Ripley as if to give her the pinfall, which, Michael Cole is trying to help her out. He's trying to play it up this is just symbolic, but it's clearly she's showing frustration because she looks like a retard doing something like that. I don't know what made her do that. That was really stupid. I don't know what they were going with that. I really don't know where they were trying to go with that. Again, she probably just messed up or forgot her cue or forgot what she was supposed to be doing. Even worse too, because she's putting Liv on top of Rhea Ripley, but not only did the bell ring and all this shit, but it's you're doing it in the middle of the ring. There's it'd be one thing if this was a no disqualification match or something, but you're in the middle of the ring and you're putting Liv on top of Rhea. Never mind the disqualification. You're doing it in the middle of the ring where the referee's he's supposed to be right there. Dude, you don't have to go run and help out Dominik. There's some helping hands already taking care of him, but it was weird. She helped out Liv Morgan. I guess Rhea Ripley won via disqualification. And I get the whole story, fucking Raquel had a former relationship with Rhea as a best friend with hers. She's actually really good friends with Liv Morgan. They were former tag team champions. So I know what they're trying to do. They're going to probably play up a story like Raquel. When I was going through so many things, you weren't there for me, whereas Liv has always been there for me. That's the story they're probably going to go for. I get it. That's awesome. I understand. It's just the whole little fucking last minutes of the match were so fucking weird. They were really, 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 really fucking weird. But I'm willing to give this match still 3 stars. I thought it was actually a pretty good match outside of the finish. So, with that being said, folks, we have the main event. Hell in a Cell fucking cooked. The middle of the card was very mixed. The best match in the middle of the card was probably Rhea and Liv. So hopefully this main event gives us something to deliver on, because right now, off the strength of the Hell in a Cell, I'm willing to give this show so far maybe 7.25. If it wasn't for the Hell in a Cell, this show would for sure be like a 5. Not even 5, probably like a 4. This would be a 4-star show if it wasn't for the Hell in a Cell. But the Hell in a Cell was so insanely fucking good, like so exciting, so fucking awesome. Probably gonna end up being super legendary when it's all said and done. Then I'm willing to push this up to 7.25. If this main event delivers even fucking somewhat masterfully, I'm willing to give this show just 8 stars, just off the strength of the main event and the opener. I mean, this is like WrestleMania 10 written all over it in regards to how as far as the structure of the show goes. Like you have 2 insanely strong matches if that main event delivers. So, how's the finish gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Only one way to find out, and that's to get to the main event. Hopefully it delivers, because I need to know the excuse as to why you main evented this over the Hell in a Cell match, and this shit needs to deliver. It's not gonna be a better match than Hell in a Cell. Obviously, that's just not gonna. If this match delivers more than Hell in a Cell, then this is gonna be one of the greatest matches of all time. You know what I mean? But if the cliffhanger is good enough, then I'm willing to at least accept why you did it. So no more talking, no more rambling. With that being said, let's get to the main event. All right, so this main event accomplished so many things, and in the most perfect cliffhanger that I can explain. So many things happened in this match, but there's so many questions. This is the definition of a fucking cliffhanger. Like, this is what this is the perfect example of what I try to explain to people when I talk. See, I hate it. I hate it because, like, I go on and on and on about the wrestling doesn't matter, folks. It's all about the story, the characters in the story. And I get so much people who talk shit about me, who say things like, Devontae, you're a hypocrite this. You have double standards in regards to AEW and WWE. AEW, they tell stories. Do you not see the long-running story between Swerve Strickland and Hangman Adam Page? Do you not see the story that's being told in the ring when a guy is working a knee? Do you not see the story that's being told when a person works another person, but then they go inactive, then they come back and then wrestle again? Do you not see the story with the things like Tony Storm and Mariah May? And it's like, well, they touch, Devontae. They touch. That in itself is a story. When I say story, I'm talking episodic. When I say story, I'm talking about the actual characters intermingling with themselves, with each other, over and over and over again. When I say stories, there are layers to this. There are chapters to this. This is what I mean when I say the story in itself usurps the wrestling. And that in itself is what makes the matches themselves so much better. You see, before we talk about this match as a whole, notice tonight 2 long-running stories culminating in 2 epic matches. But notice, one match culminated with violence, but the violence in itself played into the story because the story was about violence. You have another match where it was all about development, returns, heartbreak, nostalgia. And the match in itself played into all of that. Do all you people see my point now? Do all the youngins out there who criticize me whenever I bring up the attitude era or the ruthless aggression era, whenever I compare wrestling to yesteryear to today? It's because what you got right here was a cliffhanger that happened every week damn near on Raw. Was a cliffhanger that happened damn near every week on SmackDown back in the days. Was a cliffhanger that gave you a reason to want to watch the show after the pay-per-view. I can't tell you not one time that didn't make me feel when the pay-per-view went off the air back in the days. It didn't make me feel like I couldn't or I wouldn't or I cannot wait to tune in to what's going to happen on Raw to follow up on what happened with the pay-per-view. What you got tonight is professional wrestling in a nutshell. Now, granted, it took 2 matches, but that's something else that I talk about, the filler. The filler is needed because it accentuates the matches in themselves that they themselves help build up to. It's all a team effort. The Judgment Day will get their chance. Damien Priest will get his moment. It doesn't have to happen now. The women will get their moments. It doesn't have to happen now. They support a card. Not everything has to stand out. I hope this match proves my point. Look at this. Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu, they come out. Yes, some people may criticize the fact that they look so jobberish. Like they look like R-Truth and The Miz going up against John Cena and The Rock at Survivor Series 13 years ago. But it was their role that night. This was their role, and they did a good job. Their role tonight mattered a hell of a lot more than the AEW World Champions role and another company, and AEW in themselves. They played a bigger part into continuing this story and getting you more invested than anything that's ever happened in AEW. And then you have the pomp and circumstances of Cody Rhodes coming out, the Georgia band playing him out, Roman Reigns coming out, an orchestra playing him out, presenting the stars as they should be presented. Solo will have his time. Jacob will damn sure have his time. But they played their roles as it should be played tonight. They start the match off slow, as it should be, because you're building up. You're building momentum. You're getting people invested. It starts off slow, but eventually it will reach a boiling point. It's to get you invested into the characters as they're selling. The same thing happened at WrestleMania this year. You get to all the big spots. Solo or Jacob Fatu going through the barricade. No selling, getting back up, taking the spot from Cody Rhodes through the announcement table. Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa, OTC versus the current tribal chief. Beating the dog shit out of each other. Trading blows. Listen to that reaction. Look at that crowd. Look how invested they were. Loud throughout the whole thing. Those are superstars, man. Roman Reigns a fucking superstar. That's how it's fucking done. He got more of a pop. He got more of a reaction throwing a fucking left hand than a dumb fuck taking a vertebrae on a fucking concrete slab. He got more of a pop sticking his finger up in the air than Nimrod sticking needles in people's mouths. That's how it's done. And what happened? What happened? Solo took the L. His time will come. And what happened afterwards? What happened afterwards? What happened during the match that even gave all that to even take fruition? The OTC, the rest of the Bloodline, this version of Bloodline, they tried to help out. Overbooked as it may be, it played into the story very similar to WrestleMania. And guess who returns? Bandana. Listen to how Michael Cole is selling this. Great job by the commentary team, by the way. I love how Michael, he's stammering over his words. He's telling Corey, hey, look, but he's not bringing too much attention to what's actually happening in the background. We see in the background as the match is happening, if you pay attention, Jimmy's right there. Jimmy's right there. He takes off the jacket. He takes off the headscarf. Rikishi, shut the fuck up and stop over-exaggerating, having people scared to death over him. He's back. Beats the dog shit out of the original Bloodline. Gives the opportunity for Roman to get the win. He gets in the ring, and guess what happens? They reunite. They embrace. Cody's sitting there selling. He's hurt. He sacrificed his body to help out Roman Reigns. The story, can you trust me? They stand up. They all embrace. They start fighting off the Bloodline again. Cody's getting jumped. Roman and Jay embrace, or Jimmy embrace. They walk up the aisleway. Cody's getting jumped in the ring. Jimmy's telling him, hey, you gave him your word. You gave him your word. Go help him. We should help him. It's on you, though. I will help him if you want to help him. They go back in there. They clear house. Cody drops the championship belt on the floor. He's hurt. He's selling. He can only do so much. Roman is fine, though. He picks up the belt, gives the championship belt to Cody Rhodes. The crowd explodes. The arena explodes. I can't tell you how many fucking times the arena exploded. Just such a great story. So little done and so much done at the same time. And guess what happens? You think this is all done? You think it's over? As it's going off the air, a familiar song hits. The Rock. The Brahma Bull, the people's champion, to put a bow tie on all this. He comes out looking all douchey, but at the same time awesome. Holds up his fake-ass Muhammad Ali championship belt because he's a mark, but that's fine. He's The Rock. He's allowed to be a mark for himself. He looks inside the ring. Doesn't say a word. All he does is raise an eyebrow, looking at Roman, looking at Cody, and he cuts his throat. And then he walks away. What does that mean? What does that mean? He puts his finger up before he did that. Does he acknowledge Roman? Is he a part of the bloodline? Is he with the bloodline? Which bloodline? That's the question. Because you leave it up to Rock, it seems as if he still acknowledges Roman Reigns. But the last thing he does is cut his throat. As if he's disappointed in Roman. And he walks back to Gorilla. And the show goes off the air like that. I can't explain to you how phenomenal this was. This was fantastic. Yeah, this deserved the close of the show. As a match, obviously, nothing's going to touch the Hell in a Cell. But as a spectacle, as a saga, what's good for television, everything that they did, from the match in itself, for how loud and crazy the crowd was, from Jimmy coming back and embracing and reuniting with Roman Reigns, to Roman respecting Cody, to The Rock coming out. There's so much speculation, so much to wonder as to what's going to happen going into the future. See, the spot right now is clearly going to be Gunther and Cody Rhodes going into this Saudi show, Crown Jewel. But where does that leave the bloodline? Where does that leave Roman and Jimmy? Where does that leave Jey Uso? Think about that for a second. Where does that leave Jey Uso? Don't forget, Crown Jewel, I believe, is November 2nd, 3rd, or 4th. One of those 3 dates. November 30th is Survivor Series. Survivor Series War Games. Last time I checked, today's Bloodline, they have 4 people. From what it looks like, we have Roman, have Jimmy, dare I say we have Cody. That leaves one more spot for an opening. Who does it go to? You have Sami Zayn. That's a possibility. Honorary Uso. You have Jey. There's a possibility. Or do you have The Rock? The plot thickens. Just like that. They revitalized the Bloodline story. Once again, they keep doing this. They revitalized it once again. So many questions. So little answers. And that's what makes professional wrestling professional wrestling. Personally, I thought this was an excellent show. Now, you can argue it was a 2-match show, but the 2 matches took so much time that I'm willing to just put it on equal footing as far as, usurping all the stuff that happened in the middle. Not to mention, all the stuff in the middle, it played its role. It's supposed to be filler. Professional wrestling needs filler. Not everything has to stand out. Because if everything stands out, nothing stands out. AEW, they need to learn that. Not everything needs to stand out. Those wrestlers will get their chance. Those wrestlers, they will get their time in the sun. You had 2 excellent, phenomenal matches tonight. Beautiful matches. One, a big spectacle, and another one, just a great, solid fucking match overall. Can't ask for better. And honestly, even the filler matches weren't really that bad. Besides Nia and Bayley, the other 2 matches weren't really that bad either. I give the show an 8. A solid 8. This was great. This was fantastic. I loved everything about this. Honestly, I loved everything about this show. I got to get some thoughts. I got to get some thoughts about the show overall. Not just the show in itself, but I need to hear some thoughts about that main event. Where do you guys stand on this issue? I love it when wrestling's like this, when you get to speculate on the kayfabe stuff that's going on. Not no nonsense backstage stuff, but the kayfabe stuff. That's the best. That's the fucking best. Gotta hear some thoughts on this show, man. But I had fun. And damn, bro, I need a cigarette after all that. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. How did you feel about the show? As always, my name is Devontae, and I'll be catching you guys later. Nothing like having a good wrestling show to go to bed to. A deuces and a P-eyes.